Shalom and welcome back to Mini Israel, Aline, our second channel here on YouTube. And I want to invite you to take a walk with me through the old city of Jerusalem. We will start here at the Jaffa gate, walking through the Armenian quarter, the Jewish quarter, and we will finish our walk at the Western Wall. So if you're ready, let's start walking. Our walk will start here at the Jaffa gate, also known as Jaffa or Joppa. This is one of the 8 gates that give access to the old city of Jerusalem, and without a doubt, this one is the busiest. Probably when you come to visit Israel, you will also use it to enter and leave the city, the old city. The city of Jerusalem has been destroyed and rebuilt many times, and that's why every building here has its own age. The buildings in front of us are less than 200 years old. But if we compare that to the building on our right, that huge tower, which is known as the Tower of King David, it is actually a little over 2,000 years old. And here we can see the facade of the Tower of David, which was actually built by King Herod the Great. I'll also leave a link up here to a video where we talk only about the Tower of David. We go inside and show all the details. But today our walk is really towards the Western Wall. We're now walking through the Armenian quarter. I think it's the least known quarter of the old city of Jerusalem. And they have a very unique culture. We can see here on the left, there's the entrance to a shop. It's an Armenian handicraft shop. There are ceramics that are truly beautiful and handmade in a very traditional way. But the question is, who are the Armenians and what are they doing here in Jerusalem? Is Armenia an independent country nowadays? But they are the first nation in the world to convert to Christianity. As a nation, I mean in the year 301 AD they converted. Their conversion even predates the conversion of Rome. Up here we can also see their flags. And that's why, since they became Christians so early on, they also have this special relationship with the Holy Land. And that's why they've been here since the 4th century. And that's why they also have their own neighborhood here. So actually, the correct thing would be to say that this is the Armenian Christian neighborhood. Another reason there are so many Armenians in Jerusalem and in Israel is that many arrived as refugees during World War I. You can see here on our right there's this plaque. It commemorates the Armenian genocide. 1.5 million Armenians were cruelly killed by the Ottoman Turkish Empire, and many others had to flee. And many of them actually came to Israel during that period. And I think it's important for us to talk about this because unfortunately the Armenian genocide is not recognized by many countries in the world. It's very rarely talked about. And it's a tragedy that we have to remember. We have to remember the Holocaust that the Jewish people went through during World War II. But we also have to remember the suffering of other peoples. Among them are the Armenians, whose history is so often forgotten and sometimes even deliberately erased. And the day that commemorates the Armenian genocide is April 24th. We moved on to the Jewish quarter, but it's important to explain when I say Armenian quarter, Muslim quarter, Jewish quarter, Christian quarter. There isn't a line dividing and saying up to here is one quarter, up to here is another, and there really isn't a division. But it means that in the area where we're walking, most of the people who live, work, and spend their lives here are Jewish, and they give the neighborhood its character. But there are Muslim places in the Jewish quarter, just like there are Jewish places In the Christian quarter, I mean, yes, there is a mix between them. But for example, here on the wall, we can see for sale the talit, which is the Jewish prayer shawl. So that's most of the neighborhood. And look down here, how cool these columns are. This is the Cardo, the main street of Jerusalem from 1900 years ago. It was built by Hadrian. And right here in front of us, we can see some girls who are coming back from school. You can see that they're wearing school uniforms. And it's quite common to see children walking alone in Israel. Even young children, because the country is safe, so they usually go to and come back from school by themselves. Inside this glass dome is the golden menorah. The original menorah from the Jerusalem temple was looted by the Romans and taken to Rome. They themselves show us this on the Arch of Titus. So what we're seeing is a replica, but it's an exact replica of what the menorah was like, and that also includes the materials. This menorah is made of gold, and it was made by the Temple Institute. And here on the other side, we're seeing the Herva synagogue. Nowadays, it's the largest synagogue in the old city of Jerusalem. I'll also leave a link up here for anyone who wants to watch the video where we also show the inside of the synagogue. But let's keep walking because we're going to the Western Wall, which is also here in the Jewish quarter. The old city of Jerusalem is a maze for those who don't know their way around here. Because as you can see, there are streets, alleys, ups and downs, and stairs everywhere, since the city has been rebuilt throughout history. Many of the passages are like these. Look here, this is one of the access points to the Western Wall, and it's a really hidden little street. And I'll be really honest with you, I've gotten lost in the old city so many times until I really got to know it well like I do now. Look how beautiful it is here. We can also see the neighborhoods outside the walls. We can see the Mount of Olives right in front of us now. And also here where the Golden Dome is the Temple Mount. And below where the people are is the Wailing Wall. Let's go down now. I also often get questions here in the comments about the accessibility of the old city. And as you can see, there are many areas that are still not accessible. But most of the main places, yes, you can reach them with accessible paths. So just like this area where we're going down the stairs, further ahead there's also a ramp. And here they're now building an elevator as well. So yes, you can access most places, but sometimes you have to take a different route. We're arriving at the Wailing Wall. But after all, why is it so important? The wall itself isn't what's important, but actually what it used to be, or rather what's behind it. The Western Wall is part of the structure of the Temple of Jerusalem. The temple, the heart of the people of Israel. And behind the wall is Mount Moriah, the place where Abraham made the covenant with God, where he almost sacrificed his son Isaac. The covenant that we follow to this day. And the Western Wall is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, free of charge to everyone who wants to come. but it is separated into men's and women's sections. So here we are seeing the women's section. And in a little while, we will also go over to the men's side. Now this is the men's section. We can also see that most of them are wearing the talit, which is the Jewish prayer shawl, but it's not mandatory, so there are also people who come without it. And right now we're seeing the prayer times. And here from the Western Wall, one of the most important places in the Jewish world, I want to say goodbye to you all. Thank you for the likes and shares. Big kiss, and I'll see you next time.